Very good words. It doesn't sound like it's me when somebody else talks about it. But I just want to repeat what was said earlier. The commitment you guys make to come here on a Saturday. I can feel it now. When you look at the room, you're like, okay, is it going to be empty? And when Thandulwazi is here doing the things that they do for you, it takes me way back to when I was younger than you, when I was your age, when I had grown up, when I had lost some hope, when the father spoke earlier, which there was anger in his life. I remembered my days where you feel like you are forsaken, where you wonder why you are so poor, where you think to yourself, why don't I have shoes, man? Why do I have to go live no gogo? Why did my father die so early? And when the history of, say, my life was spoken to, I was like, so that people understand what it actually means to have a vision for your future and make it tangible, because it actually is. If you see someone like myself standing here, it's not like some guy that they got there to come talk. It's like, no, this is you 40 years, 30 years, 25 years, 20 years from today. So I just want to say welcome to everybody, and I'm privileged and proud to stand before you today. And like I said, my upbringing, and I'm making an assumption, is possibly not that different to yours, I presume. And I want to talk, but I want you guys to please, if Ningasad, please ask questions. And I want to make it very, very interactive if you can. We've stolen a bit of the first period, so I'm going to be very quick so that you get much, much value from the conversation I'm going to have with you. I want to get a sense in the room about where people are from. Show of hands. East Rand, Butembisa, Foslo. There's 1, 2, 4, 5. Val was booking, so there's 1, 2. Soweto, there's 1, 2. Okay, so I think there's a varying number of you. So Nzokuluma, I will speak in Zomix. I hope everybody will hear me. But the intro has been done to you guys, Jabu Mabaso, or to Umalume Mjava, or whoever people call me Elokshin, particularly my brothers, the kids, the Kasi, people I go to almost every other weekend when I'm around. I was introduced as the Group Chief Information Office. Then I asked myself, who in the room knows what that is? What does that job do? Who wants to take a guess? I heard something? Don't be shy, you said it. You said IT somewhere there. So my job today involves building everything technology for the Sanlam Group. And many of you might not know what that thing is, but it's that thing with the 2 hands that you see when they do ads, and they call it an insurance company, and it does stuff like that. So I'm the guy that does all of their IT. We are in 33 countries in the continent, so across Africa. And we've got specific work we do in 27 of those countries. So I do all of the technology for Sanlam, for all of those countries, including South Africa. Just as background, I was born in White City. Those who know where White City is, show of hands. Does anybody know? 1, 2. Okay, Kenza, Tamar. There was 4 of us, boys. My brother's 1970, I'm 76. My younger brothers are 1981, 82. And before my dad died, we pretty much lived in that house. until I was probably 12, C4. And we would sleep in the kitchen. And my mother and my father obviously slept in the bedroom. But throughout those years, lower primary, higher primary, that's what we used to call it then, and high school, I was one of the top students, ICAS, because I completely wanted to, and I think that was my passion, my drive, to get out of poverty. You know, if anybody asks me now in my 48th year of existence, what's my biggest fear? Because my fears are different. So what's your biggest fear? I'm like, guys, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to see myself back there. And then I thought to myself, what can you do to do that? And that for me was why you guys are here today. Education, maths, and science, and dedication. And that's what I pretty much did until high school. And then in high school, we were fortunate enough, this was pre-1994. So those of you who know what post-94 means, that pre-94, the existence of apartheid meant that those of us who were in schooling systems, did not have opportunities to go elsewhere. But lucky for us, there were foundations that were foundations for underprivileged children that would spot talent or spot people who were really dedicated. And they went to each and every school. And I was invited to do an aptitude test in my grade 6, 7. I can't even remember now. -2. Yeah, it was grade 9. And then there was 1,000 of us who wrote that aptitude test. How it all went about to find myself where I am. So I've then worked for other companies as well. Of the countries in Africa I've worked in, I've lived in 13 of those countries. So I've lived in Kampala, I've lived in Accra, and when I worked for IBM, I actually lived in Finland and Sweden, which is quite astonishing. You know, Maso Lapo, you're like, yo, is this me? What is happening here? And you're like, you go back. And I see that the father's not here. You go back to when you were angry, when you were poor, when you didn't know what the next steps would be. And then you start praising the higher power that is there, that has intervened in your life, because it's not all you, but you have to show up 80% of the time. Like you're showing up today, you must show up consistently in your life. You're not doing it for anybody but yourself. The thing comes from you. You have to be wanting to achieve something. You have to be wanting to not have some of the anger, the pain, the things you go through. And that for me became maths, science, and all other subjects. And that's my trajectory until I get here. And then my words of encouragement to you, they sound pretty much the same as what I've just said now. You can rise above your current environment. I can guarantee you that. I'm proof. I'm standing here and I'm like, you know, when I speak to my son about my whole life journey, they say, Dad, please shut up. I'm like, hi, why? Like, no, because it's sad. Because they have their own rooms and they've got a shower, they can bath. I'm like, you've got no clue. That's the way my life is. And I'm like, guys, I don't know any of the things that you're talking about. It's like, I have no clue what's what in the new world of stuff. So your circumstances today do not spell anything about what your potential future current is going to be. I want you all to understand that you must make sacrifices. And I honestly do think what you are doing here today, seated here, in itself is a sacrifice. Because you could have said, it's Saturday, so frugal. Hey, Mama, Papa, you could have, but you are here. So as I was coming in, I saw most of you walking down, and I watched. I wanted to see the passion in the walk, and whether you're still half asleep or I know. I do think the people actually want to be here. You must make those sacrifices. It doesn't really matter what they say about what you are doing, because friends can be a disruption. Particularly those who don't participate in the good thing that you are doing here today. It's like, ngicabanga ukuthi ngcono wena uyaphi? Hayi, lesathatha iskulu yenu. It's like Thandulwazi as a concept, I guarantee you. Please make sure that you don't consider it a sacrifice. You must consider it as a blessing that has been bestowed on you to get to a place where someone like me has gotten to. And then success will only come to you for the time you invest in it. In engineering, we call it a direct proportional relationship that has a corollary. What you put into the machine, into the reactor, is what you get out. So put in as much as is possible of yourself into your success, and that's what you get out. And again, don't be demotivated, more fail, like I one, I two. Because failure does not determine your future. It just is a lesson on how not to do certain things or how to do a thing much better. Okay, that's me. Just persevere, please. Have the dedication you have a positive attitude, and you'll overcome almost every adversity. You have so much help around. I'm looking at this side of the room, I'm looking at that side of the room. I can see the amount of help, amount of people who want to really see you succeed that is here. That help is there. I'm here today because I want to do the same thing. And those of you who potentially want to speak to me a bit more about themselves, always have that opportunity to do so. Because it's me giving back how I lived my life to people who will understand it, people who potentially come from it. And them's are my words to you this morning. And I wish you all the best for today. And good luck. Thank you very much.
And some came to Mr. Kumbi and they were saying, yeah, we can see you. You are doing a lot for the girls, but nothing for us. And we want to apologize for that. But we are very happy today to have Babu Mabaso with us and sharing his experience with us. And it's out of that, Babu Mabaso, that we want to thank you. Let's give Babu Mabaso a big round. We want to take some photos then. We'll ask some boys, mainly boys first, to come and occupy these seats here. The first, I'm starting from the top. 1, 2, 3. The first 3 from the top, it must be filled by boys. The last 2 here will be filled by girls. Then we'll ask our guests, to Babu Mabaso, and the 2 ladies, Nobabu Kumbi, to join so that we take beautiful photos before we break place. Can we have boys coming in? First 3 rows there must be filled by boys. Let's come, boys. Come, boys. I said we must walk like soldiers. First three boys. Then girls here. Come girls. Fill the lower rows. Girls, come.
Most girls get an opportunity and most boys get it. That's it. You just need one picture.
combine it. So the girls, you can squeeze in.